Hey everyone, John Michael Swift. Welcome back to my series on the song Romanza, my Elevator Etudes series. In this lesson, I'm going to be talking about crossing strings, or playing melodies on different strings with the same finger pattern. This is a thing that's really useful for classical music, really useful technique, but you're going to find you can get a lot of really cool different melodies over a much wider space if you learn to play on more than one string. In the last lesson, we really focused on just playing over a minor scale on just a thin E string. Just that scale. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start on the B string and start to find the same scale but starting on a different string. Now of course the distances between the frets are all going to change because we're starting from a different place. We started on the E string, it's the do of the key we're in, so E is the root. If we start on the B string, we're starting on the fifth, so the intervals are going to be a little different, but this is a good way to learn more about the scale, to kind of hammer it deeper into your head because you have to learn it from a different perspective. So the first thing you got to do is establish a slightly different finger pattern. So, we're still kind of with this basic idea of, but now we kind of have to shift it because the main string we're going to be playing on now is the B string. So let's pretend we started with the middle finger and accented that, and that's kind of our main starting place. So when we pinch with the thumb, we're going to pinch with the middle finger instead. So try just pinching on the B string and the thick E string. And then you're going to do the middle finger, pointer finger, ring, middle, pointer, ring, middle, pointer, ring, middle, pointer, ring, pinch, and 2, and 3, and pinch, and 2, every 3 we pinch, 3, and pinch, and 2, and 3, and try to bring the B string out a little louder, make the other outer strings softer. Pinch, soft, soft, pinch, soft, so I guess pluck, soft, soft, pinch, soft, soft, pluck, soft, soft, pluck, soft, soft, pinch, soft, soft, pluck, soft, soft, pluck, soft, soft, pinch, soft, soft, pluck, soft, soft, pluck, soft, soft, and then we're finished. So when you've got that down, now you can play melodies and accent the B string instead of the E string. And that gives you a different register. It gives you a slightly different pattern around what you're doing. And as you're going to see, it's going to open a lot of other doors later. But let's start that pattern, start finding the minor scale. So we're starting on the fifth. First thing above it's the minor sixth is on the first fret. Keep bringing it out really strongly. And up to 3, it's our minor seventh. Just 2 frets below our root, which is on 5. So just play with those a little bit. 3, down to 1, and open again. So, it's on the B. Lay, it's on 1. Te, it's on 3. Do is on 5. Now, I'm going to go up to 7 for Re. Re. Just kind of switch between Do and Re a little bit. Just kind of mess around this area. Te, Re. Make sure again, your middle finger is stronger. You're making your ring and your pointer finger as soft as you can. Just kind of mess around with it in your own way until you feel like it's kind of sticking. Now, from 7 up to 8. Flat 3 is just 1 fret away from your Re. So it's like Me, Re, Me, Do, Re, Me, Do, Re, Me, Re. So try messing with that a little bit. Integrate it with your other notes. In your own way. Pause this video and mess with it if you need to. We'll go up to 10 for our fourth. That's our next note. Don't forget your finger pattern. Stop and kind of reset your finger pattern if you need to. Make sure that ring finger's, I guess the middle finger, is really popping out. It's much louder. And the main thing is actually making the pointer and the ring finger softer. Part of it is making this finger louder, but the other part is making the other finger softer. Finding your way kind of around that area. And then your 12th fret is going to be your So again. It's your last note. So try to just follow the scale up and down when you're ready. It should sound like Fa, Me, Re, Do, Te, Le, So. Back up. 5, 7, 10, 8, 10, 12. So now, once you've got that scale kind of lined out in your head, just try to improvise with it as much as you can, just keeping the melody really cohesive. Same way you did in the first section. One of the biggest tricks with this is to kind of make sure that your fingers stay arched so they don't mute the other strings or touch this way. So you really got to keep the fingers really, really high and arched. I'm going to kind of show you how arched my fingers are. If they're too flat or they're too laid down, you're going to be in trouble. So you want to keep them really high. Yeah, excuse me. And if you want to, you can always add other notes. Nothing stopping you. It's still very modal. All you gotta do really is kind of avoid. I'd really avoid the G sharp there, but all the other notes pretty much you can find a way to make them work. They'll almost all on some level work. And now, once you've got that down, you can start to move down to your G string. So the G string is your Me, is your kind of third note of your triad. So again, we're starting the same scale from an even different place. So if you start from the Me, you gotta go a whole step up to Fa, that's 2nd fret. I'm gonna go just right through the scale this time. Up to Sol, which is on 4, Le, which is on 5, Te is on 7, Do is on 9, Re is on 11, and then Me again is on 12. So again, I invert the pattern for this usually. You could just, if you followed the same pattern as you did in the original song, you'd go pointer, ring, middle, pointer, ring, middle, pointer, ring, middle. I don't think that sounds quite as good. I usually switch this to pointer, middle, ring. It's kind of an ascending arpeggio. But again, making sure the pointer finger is much louder than the other ones, and that the middle finger and the ring finger are softened. But you want to try to just go and follow the scale up and down one more time. You can do this at your own pace. You don't have to do it one note at a time right away. You can take a long time and kind of like shift one note at a time or shift your positions. Doesn't matter that much, as long as it sounds nice in the end. So now, once you've done that and you've improvised with it and you've woven all the notes together, very much like the other scales that you did, now you want to try to cross a little bit. And again, at first, don't try to cross really frequently because that can get really challenging. But if you give yourself a little bit of time, you might like hang around, maybe just your first 4 frets and just start on the G string. Now if I go for the 3rd fret on the B string, I got to change my accent in my finger pattern. Now if I switch back to 4, this is a good thing to try at first. Just try switching the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, back. 1. And again, you really want to make it feel like the melody is following your fingers. And up to the D. Now I'm on this string. I'm going to go up to the F sharp here. And I'm back where I started. You can practice crossing the B and the E string. So back to the B string. Back to the E string. You can hear a little bit of a tone change, so you want to decide, okay, how do I want to handle this coloristically? Remember, the E string is always going to be the brightest, and the thicker the strings get, they require a little more of a dark quality. When you really feel you got this down, it might be good to just try just like open strings and try accent the strings, you know, forward around. So like E string, ring, and then switch to the B. Now to the G string, and back. B string. When you're ready, put the pinches back in. When you switch, pinch. And then switch again. And then the last thing I would do to really make sure you've got this idea hammered in is to try to play a scale. I'll usually play like just the G major scale, at least all the notes of it, maybe not beginning and ending on it. I suppose you could, doesn't really matter. What I tend to do is a box. I tend to start from 5, 3, 2 there, cross to 5 on the B, 3 on the B, 5 on the G string, 4 on the G string, 2 on the G string, and then maybe the open. But if you follow, starting from here, whenever you're ready, just take your time, do notes as you're ready, and then the crossing, D, E, another crossing. And I'll go back down, cross, cross again. And you can hear right there, you can kind of hear the crossing because the pattern changed. So one thing that helps a lot is to make the non-melody notes really, really, really soft. If you really want this to be smooth, you really gotta make them just almost nothing, and the melody is just very strong. So when you do it that way, it's not too bad actually, usually. And once you've done that a couple of times, you start improvising. And again, you can take those ideas anywhere on the neck you want or change the modes fairly easily, but the key is to really try to keep that melody really clear as you wander here to there. But that idea, it really makes your right hand technique a lot better because it makes you able to pull melodies out of inner strings, out of different patterns, and really control your dynamics. So yeah. I think, yeah, the next video should be an improvisation that weaves all those ideas together. So, yeah, guess I'll see you in that.